Okay, thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for clicking the little bell. Oh, welcome to another episode of What's Going On? What's going on? Oh, yeah. Now, now I want to make sure that we make this very clear. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to shame right now. I'm not trying to shame Amber Heard whatsoever. But look at this. From the Tarot Comedian on Twitter, I try not to comment on looks, but she's aged so horribly. Now, you can see that photo, but I want you to look closer. So let's zoom in. What is going on with Amber Heard? Let's zoom in a little bit more. What is going on with Amber Heard? Is she okay? And I'm going to say that again. I'm not shaming her. I'm not like trying to make fun of her. I'm saying genuinely, is she okay? Like, is she sick? Is she ill? Because that looks kind of scary. Right? I mean, I know I'm not the only one that sees it. Either she's drinking a lot of liquor and she looks really puffy, or something is wrong, right? Because you see the photo. And I don't know, maybe she stopped using Botox? I really don't know. I can't say. That's tough to, and like I said, I'm not shaming her. I'm just kind of like, wow, what's going on here? And here's another one. What is happening? What is happening right now? Is it because she's not using Botox anymore? Is it because she's drinking a lot? Is it because stress? Like, is there something going on with her that maybe we should know about, Okay, now, I know we always talk about how we're going to stop talking about Amber Heard eventually once they stop, but today is different. This is brand new. I've never seen this before. Okay, apparently what's going on now is there was a mechanic that was working on her Mustang, and apparently she tried to cheat on Johnny Depp with him. So let's look at this declaration from this person, and I want to go through the whole thing. So this is a declaration of David J. Kalaki Sr. I, David J. Kalaki, declare as follows. I am over the age of 18 and not a party to this action. I have first-hand personal knowledge of the facts set forth below. 2. I am a mechanic by trade who founded 2 companies, Performance Truck Repair and Performance Allison Transmissions. My company employs approximately 30 people. I am the son of retired LA County Deputy Sheriff who spent many years as a detective sergeant in the Homicide Bureau. At the request of Mr. Depp, I helped facilitate an agreement with the network to restore and customize his wife Amber Heard's 1968 Mustang on an episode of the series Overhaulin'. I was successful in doing so, and the filming of the reveal was December 20th, 2014. On one occasion, I had the most unusual and unsettling experience with Amber Heard. After installing a new sound system in her Mustang, she had asked me to visit her at 849 South Broadway, LA. She wanted me to instruct her on how to operate the touchscreen and also teach her how to interface her iPhone with the onboard system, make hands-free phone calls, map driving instructions, contact lists, play music, etc. When I arrived precisely at the appointed time, Amber was not available. It would be 3 hours before she came down from the penthouse to the parking garage. After she came down, we found the Mustang. She got in the driver's seat and I the front passenger seat. She seemed to be in a very happy mood. We spent a moment exchanging greetings. She then said something weird. Ooh, here we are alone together in a parked car in a dark parking garage. We could do anything in here and nobody would see us? This is the guy that literally, this is cheating. This is the guy that was, you saw it at the beginning, they were supposed to fix her car and Johnny Depp was the person that set this whole thing up. So we're going to read that again. She then said something weird. Ooh, here we are alone together in a parked car in a dark parking garage. We could do anything in here and nobody would see us. She just straight up is trying to seduce this man in a parking garage. What the fuck? And she's still married. Oh my God. And Johnny Depp set the whole thing up with the network. Every single day, it just keeps on getting better and better. We could do anything in here and nobody would see us. She added to that statement. However, I am uncertain today of what exactly she added. I was speechless and did not make any reply to that, nor did I make eye contact. She was wearing a white t-shirt and denim jeans and dark shoes. My only response was to say, okay, let me show you. Let me show you how the sound system works. He's like, look, lady, I don't want to have sex with you. I'm not trying to have sex with you. I don't know what you're talking about. So he basically rejected her, right? Which is kind of funny because you would think that a woman like Amber Heard, right? A woman like that, when they get rejected, they get angry. So this guy is lucky that she didn't go off on him, because most women, I'm going to say it again, women like Amber Heard, that they're like that and they don't like being told no. If you reject them, they get very, very upset. I continued to instruct her on the system and she picked up on the procedures quickly. She asked me to show her how to get her contact list onto the touchscreen of the sound system. I did just that and I noticed her phone was already set to a person in her contact list and it displayed onto the car screen. It had the name and phone number to Dr. David Kipper, who happens to be a client of mine. I said, "Oh, you know Dr. Kipper too?" Amber's response was completely unexpected. She turned to me shockingly icy and said, "How the fuck do you know David Kipper?" What the okay, you see the mood swings? You just go off on the guy? Like, this kind of shows that BPD stuff, right? Like, she was all trying to seduce him and being all nice and playful probably. And now all of a sudden she's fucking telling him off because about this Dr. Kipper person, you know? So the mood swings. The mood swings. I quickly apologized for asking and said it was none of my business and told her Dr. Kipper was a client of mine. The tension in the air was extreme at that point while she gave me the silent treatment. Then she quickly exited the car while saying, "It's none of your fucking business." She walked to the penthouse elevator and I never saw her again. What? She doesn't even know what this guy is and she just fucking goes off on him like that? Dude. I sat in the car for a moment, got out and walked downstairs and went home. I reported this entire interaction to Johnny's property manager, Mr. Murphy, and later to Johnny's sister, Christy. Later, Mr. Depp and Amber Heard separated. However, I continued to work both for Mr. Depp on his automobiles and also for Amber Heard on her '68 Mustang. After receiving the vehicle, Amber had instructed me to implement several changes and additions to what the network had done to the car. I followed her instructions precisely. Approximately June 2016, I received direction from Kevin Murphy to separate the billing on work related to the Mustang. I was told to continue billing Johnny for work performed on his vehicles and to invoice Amber directly for work performed on her Mustang. I immediately informed Amber of the instructions I had been given by Mr. Murphy. The reply I received... I already know where this is going. The reply... She's gonna fucking tell him off, isn't she? Okay. The reply I received what can only be described as an extremely hostile response from Amber. I did my best to convey to her that I did not wish to get in the middle of the dispute between her and Mr. Depp. She did not receive this information very well. Her first reaction was to verbally abuse me with expletives. Poor guy. He's just a mechanic. He's just trying to do his job. And here he has to deal with Amber Heard and a fucking toxic, violent person that she is. Poor guy. Okay, I'm all red. Okay. Her first reaction was to verbally abuse me with expletives, threats, and continued rant over what she claimed was an unfortunate financial downturn of her personal finances caused by Mr. Depp. At one point she said, "You motherfucker, you're screwing me." He didn't even do anything wrong. The poor guy is just trying to work. He's just trying to do his job. And she's fucking telling him off at every point. This is fucking hilarious. I mean, not for that guy, but you know what I mean. Amber stated that there was a legal agreement between herself and Mr. Depp drawn by their attorneys and signed by both parties. She said in this agreement that Mr. Depp was responsible for paying her bills, and if I expected payment that I should forward bills to Mr. Depp. It's like, I want to be surprised and I want to be like, oh man, I can't believe that. That's insane. It's not insane, and I can totally believe it. It's not insane. Oh my God. I asked her to send me a copy of the agreement and that I would consult with Mr. Depp's people to form an opinion of the agreement. She said it was privileged and that she could not send me the agreement. Therefore, I refused again to follow her billing request. The verbal abuse continued, including the words fucker, asshole, motherfucker. Oh my God. This guy didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do a damn thing to anybody. He just wanted to go in there, work on a car, show her how the car worked, and then she invites him to her penthouse. She tries to fuck him in the friggin' parking garage under the penthouse, and then he tells her no, and then he doesn't even do anything wrong, and she's fucking going off on him. And I think this is just something where you can really, really see this personality disorder. Like, one moment she's trying to fuck him, and then the other moment she's telling him, oh, you motherfucker. I'm sorry, bro. What's this guy's name? What's his name? David Kilaki. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, David. You had to deal with that woman. We've been dealing with her for months, and we all know. We all know, man. We all feel sorry. Trust me, bro. We all feel sorry for you. Then she said that she hadn't authorized the repairs, and I reminded her of the phone conversations and text messages that contradict that statement. Amber tried everything to convince me to release the car to her without payment. Is anybody surprised by that? Anybody? She claimed to not have the money. She claimed, even back then, I don't have any money. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. She claimed to not have it. Hey, bro, we're dealing with that today. She's saying she's broke now. See, and that's how you know. Even back then, she probably had millions more in her bank account because she was still siphoning money from Johnny Depp. Well, you know she was probably doing that. She was taking money out of his account and putting it in hers, right? So she was probably doing that. Her bank account probably had millions and millions of dollars in it. But she's telling this guy, I don't have any money. Oh, wow. 6 years later, we're all here and we're expecting her to pay Johnny Depp $10.35 million. And what is she telling him? I don't have any money. It's so, oh my God. Is anybody not surprised? Ugh. Well, hold on. I said that wrong. Is anybody surprised? Yes. No. We are not surprised at all. Excuse me. I said that wrong. She said, Johnny's not paying my rent. He's not paying my bills. Fuck him and fuck you. Poor guy. The final phone conversation I had with her was very unpleasant for me. I'm so sure, bro. I'm so fucking sure. I had had enough of the verbal abuse and threats and decided to no longer respond to attempted texts and phone calls from Miss Heard. At one point, I demanded cash only, and I informed her accountant, Hector. My conversations and communication with Hector were pleasant. After Amber Heard was informed about the new cash-only policy, she flipped out. Oh, again, who'd have saw that coming? She flipped out at me over the phone. The abuse was worse than before, yelling, cussing, and threatening me with legal action. Amber said I had broken our agreement to satisfy the open invoices. She also stated that I was a dishonorable piece of shit. Dude, see, and this is another thing. You want to come out and say every single fucking day. The people want to come, oh, she's the victim. Oh, no, we know who the real victim is. The mainstream media, oh, we know the victim. Johnny Depp was the abuser. Dude, she's abusing some guy that she doesn't even fucking know. She doesn't even know this guy. He has no connection to her whatsoever. Okay? And she's abusing a stranger. That right there should show you what kind of person we're dealing with. During the attempt to facilitate the repairs, modifications, and additions to the Mustang, I received many text messages and phone calls from Amber's father, Mr. David Heard. After the separation of Amber and Mr. Depp, Mr. Heard became very bitter towards Mr. Depp. During a phone call with me, he stated, that fucking piece of shit is fucking me too because I'm supposed to get 10% of the money and without it, I can't produce the movie I was going to make. What? Heard's dad was, oh my God. Okay, this is brand new breaking news right now. Amber Heard's dad was supposed to produce a movie with Johnny Depp's money? What the fuck? What? What are these people? Are they just scam artists altogether? What the fuck, bro? Are you trying to tell me your daughter that is supposed to be a star in Hollywood, a star, even though we all know she's not? Your daughter that's supposed to be a star in Hollywood can give you some money so you can produce a movie? Come on, man. What the fuck is that? And he is ruining my baby girl's career. Really? Johnny Depp is ruining your baby girl's career? Really, bro? Are you sure about that? I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that, bro. This has made my day a lot better because I didn't actually read this before I brought it to you. I just like saw the stuff that was on it about it, right? And I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be insane. And I hadn't gone through it yet, but now reading this, it makes it so much better. He is ruining my baby girl's career and blackballing her in Hollywood. And when I get to him, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. And I'm from Texas, and men from Texas carry 45s, and Johnny's going to meet the fucking end of mine. I told Mr. Heard it sounded to me like he was drunk. He said, yeah, maybe I am, and I'm going to shove the whiskey bottle up your ass. Oh, well, there's that. I wonder where Amber Heard gets the shoving of a whiskey bottle up somewhere. It's right there. I strongly advise him to stop making death threats about Johnny and threats of violence against me. After getting off the phone, I called Mr. Murphy instantly and reported what Mr. Heard had threatened, advising him to report it to Mr. Depp's attorney. He assured me that he would. Having been raised by a deputy sheriff homicide detective, I knew to take such threats seriously. Executed this day. Okay, whatever. Well, there it is. So let's go back. Let's recap this because this is fucking good. This is really good. Okay, so number one, Amber Heard tries to fuck the mechanic of the people that are trying to pimp out her ride, apparently, but it's not pimp my ride. It's overhauling, like it says right there. I was successful in doing so, and the filming of the reveal was December 20th, 2014. So I guess her car came out in that show, Overhauling. That's number one. Okay. And here it is right here. Oh, and I'm sorry. It's just too hilarious. Oh, here we are alone together in a parked car in a dark parking garage. We could do anything in here and nobody would see us. And she's literally still married to Johnny Depp. She's still married to Johnny Depp. This is right before the divorce. Okay. Wow. There's literally nothing more for me to say. I can't even believe that. Why do I keep saying that? Of course I can. Of course I can. We can all believe it. So then we go over here. The second one, number two, she goes off on him, a total stranger. She goes off on him for knowing this David Kipper person. That's two. Here it is right here. She asked me to show her how to get her contact list onto the touchscreen of the sound system. I did just that, and I noticed her phone was already set to a person in her contact list, and it displayed onto the car screen. It had the name and phone number to Dr. Kipper, who happens to be a client of mine. I said, oh, you know Dr. Kipper too? Amber's response was completely unexpected. She turned to me shockingly icy and said, how the fuck do you know Dr. Kipper? Dude, this guy's a stranger. He's a stranger. You don't even know this man, and you're abusing him verbally like that. Oh my God. And this person is supposed to be the victim. Wow. So that's two. And now, the third and final pièce de résistance right here. Amber Heard's dad literally threatens to kill Johnny Depp. Right here. He is ruining my baby girl's career and blackballing her in Hollywood, and when I get to him, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. And I'm from Texas, and men from Texas carry 45s, and Johnny's going to meet the fucking end of mine. Okay, now this is huge. Aquaman 2 could be in trouble as rumors offer David Zaslav not happy. It's claimed that Aquaman 2 may be in trouble, as it's said that Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav is not happy with the film. The info comes from World of Real in their report about how a recent test screening for The Flash scored the highest test rating in DCEU history, and that it said Zaslav is actually a big fan of the flick. Regarding the potential problems with Aquaman 2, the site doesn't mention specifics other than David Zaslav is not happy with what he has seen from the movie, which is currently in post-production. And it said though Zaslav is unhappy with Aquaman 2, it's not to the point of canceling it like he did with the Batgirl movie. It should probably be pointed out that Aquaman 2 has a budget of about $200 million or more, and Batgirl only had around $100 million. So much like The Flash, Zaslav isn't going to shelve any high-budget projects that are already completed. Now, I think this is just a case of what's going on right now with everybody because of what happened with Batgirl and Supergirl and the Black Superman. Everybody's scared of this guy, and which is good. Good. Y'all should be afraid of this dude because these people right here, I think what's happened is you're really going to see in the future that DC and Warner Brothers, they're really going away from the whole woke thing. Okay, they don't want a Supergirl, they don't want a Batgirl, they don't want a Black Superman. They know that all that shit does not make money. Ever. You see, so they're getting rid of all this woke shit, and I think that the next See, because phase 5, I believe, is like a whole year or 2 years. So I think like the next 3 to 4 years, easy, you're going to see Marvel fall hard because they just want to be woke. They want to spread She-Hulk, attorney, lawyer, and we're going to talk shit about men throughout the whole show. Hey, man, I don't give a shit. That's their problem. But they want to go ahead and talk about all this kind of bullshit. Fine, go ahead. Put it out. Let all the woke stuff come out, and it's going to bomb. And you know what's going to happen next year, the year after, and the year after that? DC is going to start going up because they're going to start having these movies that have nothing to do with being woke, and they're just about being good movies. And this guy right here, David Zaslav, he recognized that. He understands what sells. Woke doesn't sell. Now, this is very interesting. I wanted to end the show on this one. Depp defamation trial, a victory for men globally, from Franaz Khan. Now, I don't know what country this is from. I believe it's like from, let's see, at the end, you can see right there at the bottom, Dr. Khan is a senior lecturer, Department of Private Law, University of Johannesburg. Okay, so this is South Africa, Johannesburg. So let's check it out. During the past few months, the world was inundated by the defamation trial involving the Pirates of the Caribbean superstar Johnny Depp and his ex-wife, Aquaman actress Amber Heard. The marathon trial culminated with Depp winning his defamation suit against Heard relating to an opinion article Heard wrote for the Washington Post in 2018 in which she described surviving domestic violence without mentioning Depp by name. Depp launched a $50 million I don't know what that is, I guess lawsuit in damages. His quest for justice was fulfilled when the jury unanimously found that Heard could not substantiate her allegations against him and that she knew her claims of abuse were false when she published her 2018 essay. The jury ruled that Heard acted with actual malice when writing her article and awarded Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. For a country like South Africa, which is rated among the worst countries in the world when it comes to domestic violence, and with not much done to fight male domestic violence, the Johnny Depp case must have hit close to home. I may be a woman writing this article, but I do not believe that my feminist voice should rule supreme as to not call for fairness and justice for men who are also victims of domestic violence. It is common cause that for many years the human rights agenda has had considerable success in drawing attention to the scourge of domestic violence against women, but it has been almost silent on the related problem against men. It has become apparent that this is a major issue around the globe that requires urgent attention. Most domestic violence cases are reported by women because women are more likely to report it and because the society we live in is more patriarchal. However, this does not mean that men are not victims of domestic violence, only that they don't report it, sadly. In terms of the Domestic Violence Act 116 of 1998 and the Protection of Equality and Prevention of Unfair Discrimination Act, domestic violence takes on many different forms. In terms of Section 1, the harm that is defined as domestic violence includes forms of abuse such as psychological or emotional harassment, intimidation, and stalking. Furthermore, in terms of this section, emotional, verbal, and psychological abuse refers to a pattern of degrading or humiliating conduct. Section 7 allows for a protection order to be issued to prohibit the commission of any act constituting domestic violence or enlisting the help of another person to commit any such act, despite the law focusing on violence against women and children. The definition in respect of the complaint is not restricted to such persons and would include male victims of domestic violence as well. The Promotion of Equality and Prevention of Unfair Discrimination Act prohibits instances where a person may publish, propagate, or advocate words that have the intention to be hurtful or harmful. In addition to the welcome criminal relief, civil remedies compensate those who have been wrongfully harmed by the culpable conduct of others. The civil remedy of delict offers such relief. Delict allows for victims to seek financial compensation for the harm that they have suffered by the perpetrator. It also expresses society's views on what it considers acceptable behavior and what it does not. Researcher Fumelele Jabavu posits that at the heart of the delictual principles lies society's legal convictions, or boni mores, which include legal and public policy considerations as well as constitutional rights and norms. Defamation is concerned with protecting the fama, the good name or reputation of both natural and juristic persons. A person's reputation refers to the good name the person enjoys in the estimation of others, that is, what others think of that individual as a person. The Constitution protects reputation via the right to dignity, and courts have indicated that the right to dignity includes the right to reputation. It follows, therefore, that defamatory conduct that infringes the dignity of a man, or anyone for that matter, is not only contrary to South African common law, but also to the Constitution because it infringes a person's dignity. And then, like I said earlier, Dr. Khan is a senior lecturer, Department of Private Law, University of Johannesburg. So that's pretty good. I mean, I know that they're talking more about actual South Africa. So, you know, that's why when they were talking about all that posit stuff and the different kind of laws that we were hearing about, that is over there on that side of the world. But this still does pertain to us. And I think it's really good to see this, that people on that side of the world are seeing this trial for what it was, the abuse of a man. And, you know, they really want to speak about this because, I mean, if you really think about it, what has happened with the hashtag Me Too? Basically, if you really truly want to get into it, abuse has become anything in society right now in America, because this is in South Africa. Anything in society right now in America that a woman deems abuse, it's abuse. And she can call you on it and say, well, he abused me that way. And then people will be like, okay, he did. Well, we'll look into it. Like, dude, anything really? Like, I remember hearing about these college women that were doing protests and stuff. They were talking about all the times that they were raped. And then they considered rape to be just like brushing up against their boob on accident. Really? Are you serious? That's what rape is to you? And you think about it. You think about what happens when someone says something like that. It ruins your whole life. So you're trying to tell me that if a guy, let's say you're walking in a club, dude, you're walking in a club and it's all packed and everybody's all jammed in together. You've been to clubs, you've been to bars, you know how it gets. And all of a sudden, if you accidentally brush someone's boob, that's considered rape. Come on, man. So I think really when you look at it, what's happening around the world, they're looking at this and they're like, oh, wow, over there in America, they're fighting against this toxic feminism thing. And people are opening their eyes. They're opening their eyes to the real possibility that violence, domestic violence, isn't only a woman thing. Okay, well, that's going to be about it for today. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for staying with me this long. We will catch you next time.